Hey folks, it's kind of like a rainy, windy, spring storm type of day. And I wanted to walk out into the garden and just do a short on having an edible food forest at your home. This year, as you can see, I scattered mustard green seeds in the winter time. So we're in zone 9B here, so zone 9. And a lot of times if you keep an eye on things, you'll be able to start some things in the dead of winter or just before winter starts, and they'll overwinter. And for me here in California, it's greens. And so these mustard greens, they're just the broadleaf mustards that you can probably find a lot of places. They start well and they spring up on their own kind of late winter time because our winters aren't super cold, and they kind of can become some of the first foods you can eat. And so I scatter seed in this little patch in the middle of my trees, and you wouldn't need a big area to do this. And what I find is that they really like mulch. So if you have an area that you've mulched and the mulch is like you've had it out for longer than a year, so the mulch is kind of settled and you're now piling mulch on top of mulch to maintain it, scatter some mustard seed in and it'll sprout and grow for you. A lot of times it'll just sprout up and it'll be a food source, like a food forest. I have some random parts here as well. Just, it's funny how the seed gets scattered by birds or by squirrels or anything. And I have some more here. That's a big one, huh? It just grew up on its own. And so we've been using it. We've taken 2 meals already from this forest, and I've got some in the freezer that'll be about another 2 meals. So it's great in the month of February to have something that you can harvest that's healthy and that can help fill in some gaps. If you look though, it's March 1st today. The seeds, they're going to seed. You see them? See the little flower stalks starting to come up? So my mustards are starting to go to seed. And so I let them go to seed because they bring in butterflies, they bring in birds. Birds love them. All the little spring birds love them. And they have a nice flower. They'll help bees to come into your garden. They just do various beneficial things. And then you can take the seed and use it to replant. But as they start to go to seed, I'm gonna actually work with my wife to get it harvested so we can get at least a couple more good harvests out of this before it totally bolts, and then I'll leave the plants alone and let them go to seed. But these aren't the ones I'm gonna take my seed from. I transplanted some into another bed, and that bed is over here. See, I kind of got this bed protected so that my dog can't get into it as much. And so this bed here is actually where I'm gonna let the plants bolt. This has been fertilized. You see I have irrigation. It'll last a little longer. And the reason being is you want to take seed not from the plants that go to seed first and earliest, but from the plants that go to seed latest. And so the reason for that is if you were to take seed from the plants that only go to seed early, then you'll be repropagating seed of plants that go to seed early, and that like limits the time that you can harvest. And you really would like to be able to harvest this from like the end of January through mid to late March. And so you don't want to take the seed from the plants that go to seed first. You want to take seed from plants that go to seed last, because those are the plants that'll feed you for the longest. Anyway, take care. Good luck in victory gardening, and I will talk to you later.